Hey guys, it's episode 3 of the day trading series of me trading the S&P 500 futures. I record all my evening trades every single day and post them with my thoughts on why I took those trades. Even though I post each day of trading, there is a week gap between uploads, and that's because I don't really have the time to edit them until the weekend because of my day job. So the last 2 episodes of day trading were Monday the 11th and Tuesday the 12th of May, and today's day trade is for Wednesday the 13th of May. And currently I have over 10 days worth of day trades recorded, which I am slowly working through to release as quickly as possible. So do subscribe to see the rest of the day trading episodes. So let's get to the trades. What you see here is a 2000 tick chart of the S&P 500 futures, and I try to make a 1-point scalp, which gives a profit of around $50 if you're trading one contract. You need $500 to trade one contract with the NinjaTrader platform, and I trade 3 contracts, which means I use $1,500 per trade. So my profit is $150, but if it goes the other way, then I will lose $150, and that's because I have set my stop loss to 1 point lower. So overall, I'm risking $150 per trade, even though I'm using $1,500 per trade. So once I've made the profit or loss, I simply just reuse the same $1,500 for the next trade. Of course, if your first trade was a loss and you only had $1,500 in your account, then you'll be down to $1,350. So you'll have to top up another $150 before you can trade 3 contracts again. But of course, I recommend starting with just trading one contract. So that's using $500 and just work your way up. So as usual, I'm going to mark the highs of the day, and normally I also mark the lows, but it seems like there was a massive sell-off with the current price being the lowest of the day. So then I just went on to identifying the trends and drawing some trend lines. If you remember from the last episode, it is important to know what the general trend for the day is, as the pattern tends to stick to that for the whole day, and markets don't usually wake up and turn around until the next day. So we had our first setup, which is our favorite 2-legged pullback. So we have one pullback here and a second pullback forming here, after which the prices should continue the strong downwards trend. So as usual, I'm opening a sell stop and stalking for an entry position right after I get some form of confirmation, which is usually a bearish bar that seems to be forming here. I like to enter a tick below the bar so that I don't get caught out in case the prices does continue going the other way. So now I'm just waiting until my sell stop gets filled. So a few more minutes have passed and there was another pullback, which is even more perfect for this trade. And that's because not only do we have one set of traders here that bought and are wanting the prices to break through the trend line here, but we have a second set of traders now that are also looking for the prices to break through and go higher. So if they all end up being wrong and the prices reverse, then there should be a very quick flush downwards, triggering all their stop losses, and that should give us enough momentum to make us that 1-point profit. So here we got filled. There is a little bit of resistance here, and then it just collapsed down and made our 1-point profit. So just a couple of minutes later, it just completely sold off by about 8 points. So about 30 minutes later, we have our next trade, which is in the cleanest 2-legged pullback, but I got a bit impatient because I missed a nice 2-legged pullback just here. We have a nice downwards trend, then we have one pullback and a second pullback, which then went on to drop just over 1 point, which would have made us our second 1-point profit. So what I did is I went on to take these choppy set of bars as a downward trend, then counted this as the first pullback, then a second pullback here, and then placed the sell stop just below this strong bearish bar. So this was a very close call as it was struggling to push through. This is why it's very important to have a clear, focused mind when trading. Small emotional factors like missing that one trade can have a massive impact and can make you impatient and enter less clean setups, just like what I did just here. But this brings us to an important point, which is that the only reason it managed to make that 1 point profit is because of the overall trend being bearish. As I mentioned in the last day trading episode, when you have an obvious trend for the day, then even when you make a mistake with the analysis, but you enter the trade in the same direction as the trend for that day, then just the pressure from the trend alone can push the prices to make that 1 point scalp. So overall, we are up $300 for the day with 2 wins, and about 2 more minutes later, we have our third setup. So as you can see, the prices have broken through this upper trend bar, and whether that's temporary or whether it will come back into this trend channel, or maybe it's broken through and will continue upwards for a while longer. So that's something I don't know, and to be honest, don't really care, because that's not my strategy. What I'm looking for is to make a 1 point scalp, and what I can see here is a 2-legged pullback forming to the upwards direction. So we have a strong bullish movement followed by one pullback and then a second pullback forming here. So all the new traders here will think, oh, it's a 2-legged pullback forming and it broke through this trend line, so it's going to be a massive reversal and prices are just going to shoot up. However, prices very rarely just reverse during the middle of the day. They usually follow the same trend for the whole day, and today has been a massive bearish trend. But if these traders are right, I'm happy for them, they will make their money. But on such strong bearish day like today, it's just much safer to set up a trap just below this bar in case the prices reverses, because when it does, it will cause all those new traders to panic and either trigger their stop losses, or they will all be panicking to get out as soon as possible. So again, I was talking for an entry point with the sell stop, but the sell-off was so strong that my entry point got taken instantly and made us that 1 point profit within just 5 seconds. So that's about $150 in just 5 seconds. And just less than 10 minutes later, the prices did go up a few points, and we're seeing another 2-legged pullback forming. So we have one pullback here and a second pullback here. And to be honest, I completely missed the first entry point here because prices were moving just so fast. But once I saw the opportunity, I quickly placed a sell stop and tried to enter as closely as possible to the first bearish bar. Again, the trade lasted no longer than 5 seconds because there is such a strong sell-off today. The biggest issue with price action trading is that you have to analyze every single bar and understand what is going on. And so when prices are moving so fast, it becomes difficult for me to quickly process what happened and make the right decisions. Hence why I missed a perfectly good entry point there. So that brings us to 4 profitable trades for today with a total of $600 for the day, all in just under 1 hour. Today the prices were moving so fast, which is partially the reason why I was able to make 4 quick trades in just an hour. But this is not how it is every day. Usually it takes around 2 hours to be able to find a good 4 trades. So I'm happy with that for today, and I think I will call it a day, especially since I've been either too impatient or not focused enough, which ended up with a few messy trades. Luckily I still managed to make a profit though. And one more thing, on the last episode I made a mistake with the calculations. The first trade on the last video made a profit of $112 and not $150 because I made 3/4 of a point profit and not a full point profit. So the total bank size at the end of the second video was $3,012, and today I have increased that to $3,612. So hope you learned something new. Like this video if you did, and subscribe if you want to see the next episode of day trading and keep track of how much my bank increases to from the initial $2,000 I started with.